Hi, Mark here, trust you're well. Welcome to this episode of Photographer Unscripted, where I candidly just share my views on a piece of equipment that I own, but also something in the photography industry, something news-wise that's grabbed my attention. And this week I'd like to talk about Apple's Creator Studio that's just been announced.
Yep.
So let's put my cards on the table. I'm an Adobe user, and I'm for subscription. Why? Let's give you something tangible. You buy a car. That car is not available with air conditioning, but you buy it, you love the car, you love the shape and everything of it, and that's why you're buying it. The emotion of driving that car, the enjoyment is you want that car, that's it, but there's no air conditioning. And then 2 years later, or 6 months later, or whenever it is, they bring out the same car, the same shape, the bit that you've fallen in love with air conditioning. So you buy it again. So you do a part exchange, whatever it is, and you buy the car again. Well, if you buy a perpetual license, one-time license, that's what you're doing. You're buying that software at a moment in time. So for me, every 18 months or so, I was buying Adobe's Creative Suite, costing me $1,800, pounds, and I was just constantly upgrading because I wanted the new functionality. So that's perpetual license. Subscription is constantly being updated. In between those updates, new functionality is being added. Bug fixes, which will happen to the standalone, operating system updates, which will happen to the standalone, but the software is continually being updated. If you bought a new camera, and we'll talk about Canon. I'm a Nikon photographer, so I apologise, but Canon CR2 is the DSLR format, basically. When they brought out the mirrorless, basically, I don't know exactly the dates that they did this, it went to CR3, a new format. But the Legacy Classic did not support CR3. So you went out and bought a new camera, but you had to buy new software again. Even if you bought the software a year before, you had to buy it again because you bought a new camera. And the same with operating systems. Operating systems get upgraded, then the software doesn't work or does work, or your camera doesn't work or does work. So there's more factors to think about it. Where subscription, if you're in the cycle of upgrading your software, you are constantly getting updates and upgrades, new functionality over that moment in time. So that's my thinking. Oh, please do remember, you don't own the software. You own a license to use the software. It was just delivered to you on a disc in the old days. Okay? So you're buying a license to use the software, and it just so happens it was over a long period of time. But as software gets more advanced, more functionality, it costs the software coders, the companies, more money. They want cloud service, to offer you cloud service so you can sync between your camera, your phone, your tablet and your desktop. They want to offer AI services to help you edit and manage your images quicker. For example, Lightroom. If you go to Lightroom in the cloud, type in red car, all the pictures of red cars will come back that are in your cloud. The architecture of the old Lightroom Classic does not support that. So, Apple's Creator Studio, I do think that there will be a harmonization.
Yeah.
What apps in the studio, what platforms are going to be offered free or in the operating system, what are going to be offered free globally across their suite, or their studio, and what are going to be paid for. And there'll be that harmonization there. So just like Adobe, you can have free access to Lightroom, Photoshop, Express, and so on. But if you want particular functionality, that'll be chargeable. And you'll pay a small monthly fee to have constantly having that. Now, why do I say this? Well, I think Apple is no longer a hardware manufacturer. They're changing their business model to a service company. What do I mean by that? Well, technology has got more reliable, more stable. And we're a creature of habit. We don't like to change. And we get used to doing a particular thing in a particular way, and we stick to that. We like this particular coffee. We have our food a particular way. We set our desk up X. For example, my phone is always on the left-hand side of my desk because I'm right-handed. I can pick the phone up, I can talk to somebody, I can write in my right hand. My phone is always in my right pocket of my jacket because I'm right-handed. I pick up the phone in my left. I can use a tablet and type on while I'm having the conversation. I'm a creature of habit. Same with the software and technology. So we don't change our habits and our technology as regularly as we used to. There has to be a reason why we change, which is why we don't change our phone and our tablet so much. So I had an iPhone 12, I went to an iPhone 16, and this is the first time I've ever gone one series jump to a 17 Pro. And the reason why was the functionality of the selfie camera with the square sensor. There was a reason to buy it. But for most of us, there is no reason to buy, and we buy every 3 to 4 years. Going back to the point, why do I think Apple is becoming more of a service company, is that we're not replacing our technology as often. I replace mine as a general statement every 3 to 4 years. So everything's on a 3 or 4 year cycle, and everything gets replaced at a 12-year point. So the whole kit caboodle. So Apple's shareholders are saying, we want more money, we're investing more money in you, we want more money out of you. But we're not buying more and more phones or more tablets. We've saturated the market. It's become to the top of the technology. So Apple is moving to more software, insurances. They do a scheme where you pay X amount every single month. You get a brand new phone every year. They now do the family cloud services where you got hidden email addresses and things like that, so you can have a dummy email address that goes to your main email address, so you don't check. So these are services tying you into subscriptions, which I have no problems with. But I think that Apple is becoming a service company, which is why they've released this Creator Suite. It's to bring more people into the ecosystem. They've got Final Cut. They haven't got Aperture anymore. I think there will be a replacement for Aperture in the next couple of years in that studio of products. And it's just about bringing everything into a service industry for Apple, like Adobe is a service industry with software. So that's my thoughts on Apple Creator Studio. Different, aren't they, compared to all the other YouTubers that have done this, said that, and so on. I've stepped back and thought about it. I'd love to know what you think about the future of Apple Creator Studio. Moving on, this week I'd like to share my thoughts with this camera, the Fujifilm Instax Wide Evo. I'm not going to go through all the technical stuff. This has been out a little while. I'm going to talk about how I use it, why I use it. Photography is supposed to be fun. Yes, it's a living. Yes, we can earn an income from it. Yes, we're showing emotions. We're capturing light upon a subject. but it's supposed to be enjoyable for both parties, from the creator and the audience. It's supposed to be light upon a subject, telling a story, discovering, sharing emotions.
Good.
That's my philosophy. You may agree, you may not. Leave a comment below. Let me know. This is fun. It's never going to be
Good.
a competitor for a mirrorless camera. It's not designed for that. It's designed for having fun, taking photographs, creating a stylization, an effect, using the filters, changing the strength of the filter. And then the great thing about this one, it's a hybrid. You don't have to print everything in all the or most of the Instax. Some of them are analog, but some of them are hybrid, where you just, I like this, and the fun bit, turn the winder, like winding the 35mm film on, and a print comes out. And it's not going to be a print that you get from your lab. It's going to be a small little Polaroid. But my point being, the smile on the person's face you give it to is priceless. Absolutely priceless. The enjoyment that I get using this and my other Instax cameras and my Polaroid, I'll talk about Polaroid in another video, is irreplaceable. The fun side of photography. And when I go out taking our dog for a walk, this normally goes with me, especially if it's in the town and going down the beach. The people I meet, take their picture, have a chat with them over coffee, take their picture. That's why I love this. It's a great way of printing. It's a great way of sharing. It's a great way of enjoyment. I'll talk about another episode. I've got the printer, the wide printer. So this one is the Instax Wide Evo. And I've also got the printer to go with it. So I can print from my tablet or my phone any pictures I take on there. Or actually, I've worked out a workflow. When I talk about the printer, I'll talk about my workflow using Lightroom Classic and Lightroom. So I could take a picture with my phone or my cameras, wherever I am, and I can be sitting there having a cup of coffee quickly. I can share the photograph that I've taken with the camera and the phone. So if you're interested in that, subscribe to the channel. The other thing that I love about these is this in the printer. You can put QR codes on them, and you can put your own QR code in there. And I'm just waiting for my Instax Evo Cine to be delivered, which I've ordered. They're not out yet, but I've ordered one. And I want to create little videos with a QR code on them, and I can tell stories linking to the video, and the QR code will link to the video. Now, I've looked into this. I haven't done this yet, but should be able to put your own URL in a QR code, and it will link to your YouTube story. So I'm looking forward to getting my hands on that. But this, not going to talk about specs, not interested in specs. I'm interested in the fun, the enjoyment, and the emotion. This is a great way. 9 centimeters by 6 centimeters roughly is the prim. Cost about, I think it's about 70p, 80p. So about $1 per print, but you don't have to print everything. If you want to go out and have some fun with a camera, Instax, brilliant. And I'll talk about Polaroid in another video. I hope today, I've just say, Photographer Unscripted. I do a little bit of talking about gear that I own, that I have purchased with my own money. I purchase all my own equipment. I do not accept donations or reviews or anything like that. I buy the equipment, I do my homework and I buy it, and I share my thoughts about it. So I hope today has been of interest to you. If it has, please like, subscribe, leave a comment in below if you've got a question, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
Thank you for your time.
Yeah.
Happy photography.